So firstly, for the Italian project has been proposed. So far, it hasn't been approved. So in this little time that we have, we are trying to reach out to as many people to protest against it. So firstly, this particular project, is going to fall under the Dibang Valley region, and there's already a project that has been approved there, which is a 2,880 megawatt project. This particular project is a 3,097 megawatt project, and it is a huge project which will lead to the clearing of massive forest area. And we are talking about this particular region, which is globally recognized as a biodiversity hotspot. So it is a very sensitive area, and there are local communities who have been protecting the environment since ages, and this particular community is the Idumishmi community. So they will be displaced, and also their agricultural lands, their entire livelihood is at stake. And also the biodiversity, when we talk about the biodiversity, there are many endangered species which live in that area, and we are not just talking about the animals, the plants, the insects, every little thing, the birds. So that's why there's a dire need to protect and prevent this very project from getting the approval. So yeah, that is the entire project about. They're going to build a dam, which is a hydroelectric power project, and it will generate electricity, yes, it will contribute to the economy, yes, but at the stake of our environment. For the long run, I don't think this is a very sustainable approach, because not just the green media community, but also even as a student, as someone who has been educated to know and learn that sustainable development is what our world needs right now, because we are going through an environmental crisis, and we need to have a more sustainable approach towards things, and we can meet our needs without even compromising the needs of our future generations. Why should we always feel the need to tell tales to our future generations with the help of books, when they can see the living example and see the biodiversity, etc., in front of them, right? So yeah, we want to encourage more people to protest against it.
So we are talking about just one dam, one hydroelectric dam. From the sources, there's been more than 100 projects that has been coming in the state Arunachal Pradesh. Will you be still fighting for all those projects?
See, we aren't against development. So uh, even projects like hydroelectric power dams, in fact, are more sustainable in comparison to the dams which are generated through fossil fuels like coal, etc. So we do encourage building of more hydroelectric power dams, but it shouldn't compromise the environment. That is our major concern. So talking about the 100 dams goal of our government, yeah, that is a good approach, but I think it needs to be met and delivered in a very sustainable manner. And because I know of projects, and I've contacted the locals of the Yazali hydropower electric region, and there is a local who has informed me that the execution isn't done very well, because for suppose the locals of that particular resident are required, and it is in the protocol that they should receive say few percent of the electricity that has been generated through the hydroelectric power project. But the citizens of Yazali barely receive it. Even if they do, it fluctuates from time to time. So there needs to be a better execution of projects if it is promised by our government, right? And that is our major concern. And Doimuk is the base of operation of such projects. And the citizens there also barely receive the electricity promised. So better execution needs to be done. And I think in projects like that, more environmentalists should be part of the core member, and there needs to be a strong core team who first researches a project before confirming it and putting it out to the public. So yeah.
So since the government also compensates the nearby area people living in there, they'll give the compensation, they'll give a good area to live for the locals there. Don't you think it is right to construct the hydroelectric power, since it gives economic growth, it gives employment and also infrastructures? What do you have to say, or do you still think it's danger to the people around it?
Okay, yes, it will generate employment and other things mentioned. Yes, but at the cost of our environment. So that is our concern, because for the short term it might sound very appeasing to us, appealing to us. Yes, there will be employment generation and so and so, but there have been issues in the past leading to the employment generation, because when we talk about construction of the dam, there are not many locals involved in this project. Normally people, when they talk about construction of the dam, they get migrant laborers from outside, right? So this might in a way make the community there feel threatened, because they are an ethnic community who have lived there since ages. So seeing so many migrant laborers in huge percentage might actually threaten them. They might feel threatened because for them they are just foreign, right? So I can understand as to why there have been protests regarding this as well in the past. So also talking about the hydroelectric power project, for the long run, when we talk about hydroelectric power project, it will generate electricity, it will contribute towards the economy, but we also need to know that when we talk about dams, it isn't just the concrete structure we are talking about. It does not just occupy one segment of the land. This particular project is going to occupy 1,150 hectares of land, which, not to forget, includes the forest area, the biodiversity there, the local communities there, their agricultural lands, etc. So when we talk about them occupying that area, we are talking about how much reservoir is going to be covered in that area. This entire land could be submerged under the reservoir of the dam. And when that happens, there will be species, there will be organic components that will be submerged inside. And the species, they start respirating anaerobically without the oxygen. So this leads to formation of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and which is very, very harmful for the environment. Given the climate crisis we are at now, these things need to be kept into account, because right now we might not see the consequences of it, but in the long run, believe me, you will see this, and your future generation will actually experience this. And God forbid we are there to experience this. We don't want to be the ones to say that we saw it happen and we didn't do anything about it. So that is our major concern, and nothing should be done at the sake of our future generation and our environment. Yeah. Also, one of our major concern is that according to the analysis that we have made is we fall under a seismic zone. The Himalayan range is very sensitive, and there are 2 projects and 17 projects which are going to be concentrated in this particular area. So, continuous excavation of this region for the project might make this area more prone to disasters like landslides, etc. Not to forget earthquake. And these things actually need to be consulted by renowned researchers and taken into account. So I really push to the government that you need to have like-minded environmentalists and researchers in your core team, and also we need to keep into account our neighboring areas that are going to face the consequence of our projects. So in the past we haven't consulted for such projects to our neighboring region like Assam. They fall under the downstream, yes, but we need to be responsible for what happens downstreams as well. We can't predict the nature right now, because given the climate crisis, there are many things that are very unpredictable, like say the monsoon rains. So it might lead to the rise in water level in very unpredictable circumstances. So that's why we need to take measures so that these things are in control and consulted with the neighboring regions as well, because it might lead to flash floods, etc. in those areas. So yeah, and also given that right now we are living through this pandemic is a very good example of how destruction of habitats, natural habitats, influences such pandemic. A recent interview I saw by Dr. Ian Lipin, who is a very renowned virologist in China. He has lived through the pandemic there, and so he stated that destruction of natural habitat makes us more closer to the wildlife there and makes us more exposed, because just like us humans, it's natural for the wildlife there to migrate to a better living place as well. So when they do that, that makes us even more prone to get in contact with them. So that could be one of the fatal things for us, and that's why we need to, instead of encouraging such unsustainable projects, we need to try to encourage projects which will actually protect our environment. So yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many danger to the environment and to the living beings and to the locals. So how can you prevent this project from getting the approval from the government?
Okay, so far it has just been proposed, and it was almost approved, but there have been many researchers opposing the project, renowned scientists who have been researching about it since very long. So even us environmentalists and activists, we are trying to protest against it, and we have even signed petitions, and even in our page, the Green Media Community page, we are going to we have shared a link, and we are going to try to reach out to as many people and get as many signatures as possible. And that particular petition addresses the Forest Advisory Committee, the chairperson and the members, all of the officials there. So hopefully us reaching out to them about our concern and objecting this project should in a way put into light how concerned we are as not just the citizens living here, but also as environmentalists. And so we want all the citizens of Arunachal and all the citizens of India and the global citizens to help us reach out to the Forest Advisory Committee and prevent this project from getting approved.